The average life of an aspen tree is like 85 years. So they're long past their 85 years. We have about a total different images, about 140. About 80% of the images that we have are no longer available. The trees died. Okay, our sites come from 3 areas. We started in the Genoa Peak area, and that actually was probably our most productive grove. There was a carver there by the name, he signed everything E.M., Etienne Mascarina. So we went there, and then from there, the next grove that we worked on is Pole Creek.
It's south of Truckee, and it's down near the Squaw Valley Ski Resort.
Okay. And in addition to that, we did make one trip to Elko and tried to collect some in that area. So we do have maybe 8 or 10 that come from the Elko area.
One of the things we see is, we see young men who are Basque sheep herders, and one of the things that you find on the trees are houses from ranches and like that, and this is an indication they're thinking about home and like that. But there's not a carving tradition in the Basque country that we've ever been able to find out about.
Well, no, on trees. There's a stone carving tradition and a wood carving tradition.
Yeah, they are up there, pretty much one sheep herder and then a couple of hundred sheep, and that's where they are there from about late spring until.
It's a very lonely occupation. They follow the seasons, and they trail the sheep up. And they're by themselves. The camps are found where there's lots of forage for the sheep and where there's water. There has to be a source of water. The one that we found still most intact was the one at Genoa Peak. And there was a nice little touch there. There was, how a ranch has the thing up that goes up that says what the name of the ranch is? Well, it had fallen down, but it said, El Rancho Not So Grande. So they definitely had a sense of humor. This is a typical couple that has the old world clothing. And you can see he's got his beret on. She has her apron. The other thing, all of the figures, they always have high heel shoes on. Always have high heel shoes on, men and women. And this one, of course, is another one by Etienne Mascarina. And as I said earlier, he carved full clothed figures. We've never found a nude that he carved. He also carved man on a horse, which is this one. And very often they did sign them and they dated them. So Etienne was particularly proud of his work. He signed all of his work, and he usually put a date on them. And most of the dates are in like 32, 33, 34. So this one is particularly interesting in that it has a human figure and an animal figure. We have a herder with his dog, and then we have a nude who stands, and she has a bird perched on her hand. But so those 3. The most common theme you'll find is letters, is words. They carved dates, they carved their name, they carved the province they were from. And that's what most people know when you talk about the carvings. If they know them at all, they know the words, because usually those are found along the roads, on the trees along the road. And so if you were just driving down a dirt road, you might look up and you would see names along the trees along the road. And then the other theme they have is sort of as nudes. They did carve a lot of nudes, some of them pretty majestic, bigger taller than I am, on the trees. And usually these were characterized by an elaborate hairdo, a crucifix around the neck, sometimes bands around the breast, a belt, high heel shoes, and sometimes a garter. Those were typical features that they would put on the nudes. Then they did sort of like portraits. This one particularly is a different style. It was done by a carver by the name of Burrell. And his art, I've always it reminds me of comic book art. So he evidently was influenced somehow that his art is different from the rest of it. But he did a lot of portraits, female portraits like this. Very lovely work, but quite different from some of the others. We never find a sheep. We do find animals. That's the other theme. A lot of deer, a lot of birds, fish. Another theme you find is it's just a leg, just a leg from the knee down, and with a high heel shoe and a garter. So quite frequently they didn't do a whole female figure. They just did the leg. That, as I said, we never found a sheep, but we did find the one that says up on the tree it says, "Adios, stupid sheep." So I thought that was quite a telling comment. And then, of course, we do have the erotic ones, which if people know about the carvings at all, they sometimes know about those. They'll say, "Oh, you mean the naked ladies on the trees?" Well, they're much more than that. And as a matter of fact, often in the literature that's written about the carvings, they refer to the carvings as mountain Picassos, because they do have that Picasso-type flavor to them.